like that, Gunnar. So you're a hustler, man. I like that. You're not just gonna sit around and wait for other promoters. You came a promoter yourself, and I
Yep.
know that there's a big population in that area of pullers, man. I know that team over in Kingston. You know, you got Cam Dennett and his
Yeah,
crew over
Cam's
there.
fucking awesome left-handed.
We also got
God.
Robbie Polson's got a crew over there. I know there's some solid pullers with the New York Vectors and all. So yeah, definitely a need for some big promotion over there. And I like the way you're going with the super matches and all. And
Yep.
you got a big match like this set, bro. I want to talk to these guys and kind of hear about what this is all about. So we all know Tim Lewis, man. You the OG and then the arm wrestling community and all. Like I said before, I feel if you want to call yourself a good arm wrestler, you got to get through Tim Lewis first. So Peter Bron Jr., bro, I want to learn about you, my man. So how long you been pulling? Give us a little background about yourself.
Well, I moved to Rochester about a year and a half ago, and my main sport was football. And I moved up here. I really couldn't get it, in touch with anyone who wanted to make any teams or, anything like that. So I found the Easy Rollers, and they took me in with open arms. A great group of guys, some strong guys and smart guys, and I just started tournaments. I started winning. I started getting stronger. I linked up with Brandon Elsessor. He became my training partner. We pull once a week. Like I said, I
Wow.
had
Well, I got to slow you down right there. Wow, bro. That is some training partner just to throw out there, man. That's a big name right there.
yeah,
That's one of my homies too, man. I was helping get him out there. I know he was like the star on the East Coast, and man, and I got him a couple matches and got him
oh,
over to Washington and all. And I like Brandon, man. Brandon's about it. And to know that you're training with him on a daily basis, you a lucky guy, bro, for
yeah,
sure.
man. It's hard to keep up with him, man, but I try. He gets me stronger, and like I said, the Easy Rollers, man, they took me in, and I pull with them once a week. I pull with Brandon once a week, and I find myself getting better and better. And I'm blessed to be pulling someone like Tim, and
Let
it's
me
just
let me ask you this, man. Yeah, because that's a big mountain to climb right now, Tim Lewis and all.
yeah.
How many years have you actually been pulling now?
This is my first year. It's my first year pulling, and I've been training like an animal for 1 year straight. You
Wait, so
know,
you only been arm wrestling 1 year? That's it?
I've probably been in about a handful of matches when I was about 19, 20 years old. I never took it serious. I just went there thinking I was the strongest guy, and I would end up, winning, each tournament that I was in.
Wait,
Then
how old are you now?
I'm 34. I'm 34.
Oh, whoa. All right, we're gonna have to break this down, bro. You just said you're in 1 year, but then you're telling me that you're pulling when you're 19, 20. Was that on
No,
an official arm
I've been in a
wrestling
couple
tournament?
of tournaments. I never took it serious. I just would see it in the newspaper. I would sign up, and I would just win the amateur classes. I would say about I was in before I moved upstate about four tournaments. But I never
You were in
took
the
it.
198s, right?
Yeah, 198.
So what you're saying is you never like practice or trained
I
or
never trained. I never practiced. I
like
was
you
just in the
just
gym.
showed up to the event like cold
Exactly.
turkey and was like, let's see how I do at this type of thing.
Yeah, Tim, you were actually at my first event. And you came down from Pennsylvania. It was in Queens, and I remember sitting next to you, and I was
Which I don't even remember. Like
yeah, yeah.
I was like, what is this? And
Tim
I'm
doesn't even
like,
know where the light switch is.
But yeah, I know that's the other thing, Tim. You're like the shadow man over here, bro. Is that part of the character or something here?
this is like as best lighting as I could find in the apartment. Every other spot was way worse.
Well, I hope you're a better arm wrestler than finding lighting, bro. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that.
That's so fucking funny, man.
But I want to hear that, Pete. So you arm wrestled him back when you were 19, is that correct?
I was 19 years old. Yes.
And that was one of your first tournaments or your first tournament?
That was my first tournament. That was my first tournament. Yes. It was actually at a
And what
farm.
at a farm? What
Yeah,
farm? What was it like a tournament being held there?
it was sponsored by White Castle, and I saw it in the newspaper, and I
So, Paul, this would have been like probably one of Gene Camp's promotions from back in
yeah,
the day.
yes.
Ah, okay. That's the New
Like,
York arm wrestling guy. I know Gene Camp. Okay.
yes, and then, there was the whole thing about the New York State because Gene Camp thought that, well, he had the New York state or whatever. And then there was that whole thing. But Gene Camp was the original guy that did things before James before James Reed, before, anything was going on in Syracuse. Like, this was all that happened in New York City area.
Yeah, and Gene Camp actually owned the copyright of New York arm wrestling, so nobody else can use that name.
Exactly. And then that's when the whole state
he
thing
sold it
came
to
about with
somebody.
New York State. Exactly.
He sold it to somebody in the last couple of years that also is still holding events, I believe, with him as well. I believe they hit me up a while back, seeing if they wanted to get involved with stuff. But yeah, that's some great stuff, Pete. So damn, bro, you came in already a good arm wrestler. I mean, you beat Tim Lewis at 19 years old, bro. Like, that's pretty crazy. So now, Tim, how many years were you pulling back then at that farm?
So if you want to talk about my very, very first event ever, like my very first event ever that I showed up, like, again, like he said, like, saw it in the newspaper, would have been February of 2004. Um, and then I lived in Denver from 2007 to 2010. But at the time, like 2006 to 2010, my weight was a lot more, like, in not a good way. Like, I was up around 240, 242s, and I was mainly pulling amateurs during that time because, like, I got to this point where I would say 2008, 2009, I was good enough to pull open, but not at the weight that I was at. Like, I needed to be like 176. So I was pulling like 242 amateurs for a while. And then it was 2011 that I moved back to the Pennsylvania from Colorado. I finally lost all that weight. I got my weight down to like 180. I was making 176 for a while. That was kind of my class between 2011 and, I'd say all the way up to 2016, like through the end of WAL. I was pulling 76s regularly. Occasionally, he made 65s. And then when I didn't want to make 76s, I would do 98s. But at this time, 2011, 2012, was when I kind of went into that phase where I was done pulling amateurs and like only pulled like pro from like that point forward, like around the time that he's talking about.
Okay.
So it was like the end of amateur, the kind of like for 10 years now, 12 years now, I've only been pulling pro and open.
Okay. And would you consider what I said earlier, bro, as kind of like you the gatekeeper? You want to say that you're a good arm wrestler in that
I mean, in
198 class?
2012, I would say from maybe 2018, 19 forward, like, people have been giving me that kind of nickname, more so on my left arm, to be honest, because my left arm is kind of like in that bottom of the national rankings. I believe I'm 14th one-arm fighter now at 210. But I've beaten a few guys that are like ranked in the 220s and the 98s, in a couple tournament matches, I'm in the hook as well. Consistently, no, but I have a couple wins there. Right-handed, I won't go as far to say gatekeeper, but it's still like a stepping stone for people.
I
It's a
agree.
lot of people have tried, to beat me right, and they still fell into my spots, and they were unsuccessful.
I like that. So, Pete, what does this match mean to you, bro? Is this the biggest match to date for you?
Yes, this is definitely the biggest match to date. And like I said, I've been training my ass off, so I just
Can
can't
you
wait.
can you break down like what does your week look like as far as training? I want to hear about how many days are you in the gym and then how many days on the table.
Well, I'm in the gym at least 5 to 6 times a week. I wake up in the morning. I'm in the gym by 9. I'm out by 11:30. Every Thursday, I'm practicing with the easy rollers from a good 3 hours, on Thursdays, and then I'll usually go to Brandon's house on a Sunday or a Monday, and we'll pull for about maybe 2 to 3 hours, and we'll get some training in within those hours. And yeah, man, that's all I do. I love training. I love lifting. I love getting stronger. I love competing, and I just love to win, man.
Well, I
I
gotta
picked
say,
Peter for this match because I see the work that he's been putting in. John and Tim have had a match before, and I was looking for somebody else for Tim right-handed, and no question it had to be Peter just because of his determination and his fucking just look at him, he's fucking jacked.
so would you say that Pete is the guy over in in that area as far as amateur, semi-pro level, making his way into the pro class? Is he one of the top guys in that 198?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll really see it at Winter Blast too. I think he's gonna blast through that amateur, division there, and it's Pete. Pete's the fucking man, dude. Like,
You'll see. Next Thursday, you'll see what Gunner's talking about.
Yeah, so guys, if you guys are tuning in, man, make sure Thursday we tune in. Where can we watch it? Is it going to be on live feed anywhere?
yeah, so it's gonna be on the East Ridge Billiards live stream page. I will, if you follow the Instagram, the Arm Battles Instagram, we'll post a link through there.
Okay, can you say it again? East Ridge, what is it?
Billiards.
Billiards.
Yeah.
Okay. And now is that a YouTube channel or is it like on what platform is that on?
Facebook right now.
Facebook.